he wasn't there to learn or to become a student or any of that. He was there to fight.
Yeah, he was a shithead. Hmm.
Yeah, and
Well,
his
let's
shirt
watch
was.
El Cucuy beat the shit out of this guy.
Let's do it. Edward Edward Pooh or somebody like that. They will talk about cooking them from the bottom and under side control. Hickson himself talks about that. It's
Whatever, bro.
invisible
I just
jujitsu.
ground and pound. Stay on top like a real man.
Man, somebody would have so much trouble grounding and pounding me or you for that matter
Ugh.
that it wouldn't be worth it. Headbutts would be the only kind of kink in that thing. That might cause me to take a few shots. But not many. So unless it's like John Jones, who is fantastic at using those long arms. It's like if you do wrist grabs, which is the punchbox series in the master cycle, one of the things that instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're talking about wrist grabs and different things like that. And John Jones uses those wrist grabs. So if they're on top and you're grabbing their wrists, John Jones lets him grab his wrist, and then he brings that elbow over the top, which pops the
Yeah,
grip, and then he lands the elbow, and that is devastating.
yeah. I was watching this Street Beast fight, uh, and I was like, man, he could be chucking elbows like that. You know, he was just having trouble like getting his arms back to like deliver a punch from mount. He mounted the guy in two different rounds. In rounds, I want to say in all three rounds actually, but then he just the round ended with him like basically just in mount.
Do they let them? Are those amateur fights or are they pro fights?
I think they're like exhibitions or something. They must be like amateur fights or not even fights. They're not even sanctioned. I don't think. I mean,
So they let them throw elbows?
man, I hope so.
Huh.
I mean, I mean, let them seems like something silly. I mean, you should be able to like, if it's just a backyard brawl, you should be able to chuck an elbow. You should be able to fucking soccer kick.
You know what? By the way, I was talking to that guy that I trained with at Gracie Baja,
Hmm.
and was reminded that in that fight that I remember so well with Robert, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and all that. That I had, I beat him up, and then he wanted to do it again, and then beat him up again, and I didn't. I thought that that was it, and then I just left him there, and then kind of went on with the class.
You soccer kicked him.
But no, I was reminded that we actually I got up, but then I went back to the mount, and that I can we continued because he seemed like it was like watching the thing that he was still kind of he had an attitude. He was still aggressive. So I went back down there and I elbowed the dude that I was throwing like elbows. And I had forgotten that altogether. But I elbowed that guy. I just again and again and again. And then I got up, and of course, he stayed down there. The thing was done at
Yeah,
that
he's
point.
concussed.
Yeah, he's concussed to the degree that I'm in the same town as him right now, and I've never seen him again. So as far as I know, I beat the poor guy to death.
I mean, it happens all the time though. Like people used to go into like gyms all the time and want to challenge people, and then they get their bell rung or they get really cracked up, and and that's like okay, well hey, I tried to fight someone legit. I got it out of my system.
And that's what it was. That's what I took it as, especially at that time. It's like this is a Gracie challenge. So, and I'm too small to like make this person into a student, and plus he wasn't even in that mindset even close. It was just like drunk, aggressive, and like ready to pick a fight no matter what. So he wasn't there to learn or to become a student or any of that. He was there to fight.
Yeah, he was a shithead. Hmm.
Yeah. And
Well,
his
let's
shirt
watch
was,
El Cucuy beat the shit out of this guy.
let's do it. Edward Edward Kulia? What'd you call him? You there? Can you hear me? Man, he knocked him out and then he ran backstage. People have this element of their jab that when they're throwing their jab, they're like dipping their head,
The
which is
worst
really
freaking
solid. That's
state to live
good
in right now is
because the
Texas,
jab, you're
and
like
nobody's talking
you're kind
about it.
of
Do you see that
opening
fucking ad?
yourself. Yeah.
What the hell?
Who was that? Was that what's his face?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he's going with that. Oh wait, I've seen that one before. There's nothing but steers and queers in Texas.
Which one are you, boy?
I don't see any
Boy,
horns.
you look like you could do stuff that we are not going to talk about. I can't hear anything though. The volume must be solely on your side, although it's
Weird.
unnecessary.
Yeah, no, I wonder why. I wonder why there's no volume. The
Look
audience
look
can
how
hear.
he look how Spencer is when he throws his jab. By the way, his head is straight up and his hand is down here.
Yeah,
It's like
you can't protect yourself from a counter like that.
not at all. It's on his neck, so it's like it's not even going to play a factor.
Yep. Maybe he's
And
tired.
Tony is set up for a counter shot right here. He might not land it, but if there's a pattern developing for those in the know,
Yeah, he's cataloging it, and plus he doesn't have to worry about kicks, so
that's
he can
right.
have extra head movement. You know,
Look at that. I mean, a simple explanation of what happened here is two things. This guy either did not train properly or his boxing skill is very limited because he clearly knows how to box, but
Tony's got that
he
dog in him.
well that's the thing that's what I was going to say a second ago is the element of toughness
This
can't be
mouse pad
understated.
is the best
It's a
I've ever
technique
used.
because
Introducing the mouse
you
expert.
have if you're rolling or fighting with somebody tough, it's a different experience because they're not reacting in the way that most people react. They're like, you're gonna have to make this work. So and they just keep going and going and going. It's hard to deal with toughness. And Tony's legendarily tough. Like Nate Diaz, either one of them. Well, he's not as tough as Ben, but
Yeah, Nate had some great shit talking when during the first fight when McGregor was trying to rattle him. He just did not give a
man,
shit.
that's one of my favorite fights ever.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was like Jiu-Jitsu won the day.
And it was such a jujitsu fight. The only thing that wasn't jujitsu is that he was boxing effectively. You know what I mean? I mean, not that you can't box effectively. It's just that they're not going to teach. Maybe they did at some point because Elio liked to box a little bit, and I have heard from certain individuals that it's like if we stand up and have practice the technique because you're going to learn punching,
Mm-hmm.
then it's okay if we're on our feet for a little while. So there is some precedent to standing, but I don't want anybody to do it if they're a jiu-jitsu student of that variety, self-defense. Don't stand and bang.
No, that's just dumb. It's like, hey, do do you want to get brain damage and give me brain damage? Like, let's just get brain damage at the same time.
Yeah.
I
Plus,
want to
you're
be
giving them too big of an
safe.
opportunity.
Yeah, no, no, no. We're gonna play our game and no brain damage.
No brain damage. But that's not to say that I won't slap them to start the fight.
Well, yeah, the Stockton slap is literally just a jiu-jitsu technique.
100%. And dude, in the old Elio videos, one of the techniques that he does, maybe you know it, one of the techniques is he's like rubbing his hair like he's going through his hair, and then he goes "Hi-ka," and he hits him with a karate chop right in the neck. Were you aware of that?
I do not recall that.
Man, I learned it. I've never taught it. I can't say that I can fully endorse it.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
learned it.
Yeah, I always like a bit of quirkiness.
Well, the perspective at the time was that this unexpected blow to a soft part of the neck is kind of like another form of a slap. It's just like an unexpected attack to start the fight, and then you kind of make distance. Now you're expecting them to freaking try to mow you down, which is like perfect. Spencer has his hands up, and then they start feeling heavy, and he brings them down to his waist every single time. Hands up,
Gotta keep them
down at
up.
his
I'm not
waist.
tired.
His arms, as you know, are just feeling like they weigh like 1,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Tony do? Is like he's driving his elbows into his rib cage to give his arms a rest, and he's keeping his head down. I mean, he's like doing a very MMA type thing, like a Dan Henderson type thing. And but the dude is not. He doesn't have a reference for that because it's not necessarily a boxing thing. It's a like I'm gonna conserve energy, smart thing. And Tony's not. He's not making it into an MMA fight. He's like just playing it fair,
Yeah, he's just boxing.
which Jake Paul absolutely did not do. He was trying to use those type of grappling techniques to exhaust to make the crowd think that he was winning, hoping he's like hoping to take the dude down, so the crowd would be like, dude, he's like killing him.
You thought he rocked Tony right there.
He did.
I mean, a little bit, but he's still that right there throwing bunches. He's not. He wasn't close to being finished.
He's already tired.
Yeah, he's got no juice.
Mm-mm. Hands are up. He throws his punch. Hands go down. Boom. Every time. Hands down. Hands down. Hands down.
I
Hands
like the
down.
footwork Tony's doing right now. He didn't stay on his toes like that yet. He needs to dance around.
It's also exploit pattern exploitation that he's doing, which is another. It's got to be another MMA type of thing. I don't know if I've ever heard of that in boxing. You know it, of course. It's like creating a pattern for the first while, and then at some point he drastically changes the pattern, so the dude feels like kind of lost.
Sure. Could be like a sensory overload, especially if you're moving around a bit.
Yeah, and you're tired. Imagine you're tired, but you feel like, hey, I know what's coming. I'm like, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, and at least I'm gonna survive the fight. I might land a solid punch and, got a chance at winning even. But once you're tired and then things start to go wrong, it's a terrible feeling. A good example of that is Nate Diaz versus Frank Shamrock. Like Frank Shamrock, once Nate started to land, he wasn't landing even hard punches, but it was just like every shot is landing, and Frank Shamrock is just looking terrible. Frank Shamrock's fantastic, but because that pattern changed so much, and he was tired and hurt, it was just like that's the thing that demoralized him. It takes more than just beating him to demoralize him. He's another tough guy, but exhausted, hurt, then demoralized, that you tapped him mentally at that point. He's tapped mentally here.
Yeah, nothing seems to. I mean, he did have that one shot. Oh, right there, right there. He almost got him right there.
Tony
Surprisingly, he
smelled
stayed up.
blood. When I smelled blood, I mean, he smelled it before that because he's in there.
So funny. What a weird name too,
Man,
mechanic.
is that dude wearing a Bruce Lee outfit back there?
Oh, I didn't see.
It's the yellow jumpsuit that he wore
Oh
in
yeah.
Enter the Dragon, wasn't it? Or Return of the Dragon, maybe. Tony looked fantastic. Tony looked freaking fantastic. Although that doesn't mean he should do MMA again.